Yeah.
But
if
he definitely is.
so spelled
right.
that he doesn't know.
And now we know that he was for sure.
Yes. So the last time somebody in the palace was caught doing a glamour was 50 years ago. This was a novice, and Dulcie was on the tribunal.
Wow.
Why is that a hard word? It's not.
Because it's pronounced tribunal?
Tribunal.
You know what? That's fine. We're just going to roll with it.
And voted for hanging. That's what Dulcie did. She was like, hang the bitch. But the woman was saved by Anne voting to banish her. There was like a tie vote. Anne cut the tie. The novice, Valdora is her name, vowed vengeance on
pretty
her
cool fucking name.
and the palace. Yeah. I don't know why she vowed vengeance on Anne when Anne was the one that was like saving her fucking life and didn't like make her die. But it makes me feel like this is a future potential problem, and I don't remember if she is, but she should be, right?
She could be. I think the reason that she vowed vengeance was because she would have rather died than had to have earned anything
and left the palace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like I said, all the examples in this book are the worst of the worst of the worst people.
Okay.
Like, there are definitely other people who one could argue could deserve, not deserve, but like could use it, could actually be helped, and it could do some good. These are not the people that Good Kind's trying to illustrate.
No, I'm just saying that bitch better come back, because otherwise I don't know why we were even told her name. I'm going to pay attention. If she comes back, I'm going to be very happy, and I'm going to tell all of you that I called it.
Well, with a name like Valdora, you'll probably remember.
I will remember. Yes. So Verna starts to ask where Valdora could have learned to do a glamour. And Dulcie's like, it could have been done by her mom. We don't really know. And then when Verna's like, oh, wait. Couldn't you have learned that from your mom, too? Because, you know, she was a sorceress. Dulcie is suddenly tired and says it's time to go.
Yeah, I like how she says it was never truly determined. Like, what I got from her saying that it was never determined was, well, obviously, I taught her. It had nothing to do,
Nobody
for me.
Found out.
It had nothing to do with whose mom taught who. It was, you were her teacher. She learned how to do that. Obviously, you taught her. That was the implication that I was getting. And so she was like, oh, shit, is it 7:30? I gotta go.
I just don't think that until the mother thing came out that it was super clear. Like, Verna could have argued she wasn't necessarily pointing the finger until she was like, oh, did you learn from your mother? Just because she, like, called her out specifically.
She's trying to ask, are you aware of how to do it?
Yes.
Because if nobody's supposed to be learning it, you wouldn't know that either.
Yeah, this is not common knowledge at the palace, so...
Right.
Yeah.
A glancing accusation.
Yeah.
But an accusation.
So after they left, Verna goes back into her office, and Millie, the cleaning lady, is in there with all her buckets and her cleaning shit. They engage in a little bit of small talk about Anne, because this was Anne's cleaning lady. They got very close before she died. And Verna eventually casually brings up...
Super cash.
Yeah. How nice it was that Millie helped with that super secret ring and letter thing. And Millie is like, oh, you figured it out.
It's like what we were talking about earlier with the feigning confidence. Like with the kids. Hey, I know you broke the thing. Okay, yeah, I did. Ah, so you actually did. I had no idea. That's what this is. And it worked, like, perfectly.
Yeah, and I mean... It makes sense because we were all like, ask the cleaning people. Where are the cleaning people? Why are we not asking them questions?
I didn't even think about that when you said it, that it was Millie.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So Millie assumes she probably wants all the deets, just like all the other sisters who asked her. And Verna's like, oh, other people have been talking to you. That's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, like a lot of other people.
Yeah, like Leoma, Dulcie, Philippa, and Marin. All the people that were, like, super sus of. Yeah, they've been sniffing around. Well, but that also makes sense, because Verna was named Prelate in, like, kind of weird circumstances. And if you were trying to be Prelate before Verna had been picked, you probably would be trying to make sure that that's a verifiable, like, thing that happened.
Yeah, they would want to know, and I also think that Verna would be the last to find out because she's been busy doing prelate stuff.
Because they've been making her busy.
Right.
Yes.
So, allegedly.
Millie says that she told these guys the truth, and the truth is that she spoke to Anne while cleaning Nathan's room before her death. Anne told her that she was dying and instructed Millie on what to do with the ring and the letter, emphasizing she had to be fucking careful so she didn't get killed by it if she touched them together before she had to.
Killed by it with a T.
I almost put it in the notes like that, but I was like, no, that makes me look dumb.
Well, I didn't expect it. That's what made it great.
That's how I hear it in my head.
Don't touch it. You're going to get killed.
She was going to get
killed. You
killed.
want to get killed.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
So there must have been like a time release on it, right? So that like she could touch them together and then run out of there.
Yeah, well, there had to. You got to be able to set it down. That, or it's like you put the paper down, and then you hover the ring just directly above it, and then you drop it and get out of there. So you aren't touching both of the pieces at the same time that they are touching each other.
Yeah, I just thought it was maybe about the web. Maybe you're right, though. Maybe it's about touching the ring and the letter when they were together that would have killed her.
It's like when you touch the red lead, the black lead from a car battery. You just don't touch it all at the same time. You can touch one, you can touch the other. You just don't tap them together while your hands are on them. Else you're going to have a bad time. I always get
stressed out when you ask me to hold those things. I know I shouldn't. I know it's not that big of a deal, but I'm always like, you're going to touch them together because you're an idiot. You're going to do it. No, me. Me specifically.
Oh, I was like, wow, that's really blunt.
No, me. I feel like I'm going to just like stupidly not pay attention and then do it and then I'm going to die.
Well, I mean, as long as you're grabbing the rubber, you'll be fine. Plus, it'll spark and fucking let you know, but... I mean, don't lick it, and you should be fine.
I'll try not to.
Try not to.
Verna asks when this shit happened, which apparently nobody else thought to ask. Millie says that it was right after the attacks. It was the day that Richard left. A whole ass month before their deaths and the funeral. She didn't see any of them after that, either her or Nathan, because the guards had, like, orders from Nathan that nobody could come in the room no matter what. They were sealed in that bitch. It's just interesting that even the cleaning lady wasn't allowed in, so nobody saw them in those few weeks before the funeral. So it's a little bit weird.
Right.
And she predicted her death, even like...
Oh, yeah, that's a really weird thing.
Yeah.
How did you fucking know that?
Maybe it was, precautions, just in cases or whatever. She felt she was going to die, but yeah, it was a little weird. But Verna thanks Millie for the info and then tells her that she has paperwork to do, so you better get along. Millie makes a comment about how she should enjoy the garden because it's a really nice fucking night out. And Verna says she hasn't even ever looked into the fucking garden because she's been busy. Millie, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, remember she has a private message she has to tell the new prelate. She wasn't allowed to tell anybody else before this, or at least she didn't remember it before now.
I fucking love this whole message thing because when she finally spits it out, it's the most simple fucking message on the planet. She's like, don't work too hard. Ah. Really? Really? That was it? Be sure to drink your Ovaltine? That was your secret message? A crummy commercial? It was fucking great.
Yeah. No, she was like, oh, I'm gonna make this big revelation. And then it was like, the weather's nice. But Verna thinks that maybe this message was spelled just like the letter and the ring, so maybe Millie forgot until speaking to her, the new prelate. The message is, like you said, don't work too hard, use the garden to relax, and make sure that the prelate sanctuary is, like, checked out. Go hang out in there for an afternoon or whatever.
Go explore.
Yeah. It's a little building out in the garden that Anne didn't let anybody else in, even to clean. And that makes me think that it's like her little fucking bat cave, and there's gonna be like probably lots of computers and like a really cool car and all sorts of stuff.
Like, what would a prelate... Okay, this now, and we don't have the time, but like, what would Anne have in her bat cave specifically? Okay, hold on. She's got the ring. Right? So the ring obviously unlocks something. That's like the little head statue or the bust in Bruce Wayne's office. So she walks in, she taps the ring to some sort of receptacle. A secret something or another opens. She goes down into the safe place. The prelate's Prelate's place. That sounds like a cafe. I was thinking like Wizard's Keep, kind of, but she goes down there. What's down there, do you think?
Booze.
Do you think that's what it is? Like, hey, this is the secret.
And maybe like a really
Whiskey,
good weed
honey.
stash. And that's where she sits while she gets real high.
The Prelate's gotta
and
have
has
the
a nice
best
beer.
weed.
And
That magic weed? Oh,
that's where she plots.
don't even get me started. That's where she plots. It's probably where she grows, too.
She probably puts her Google Home on to some classical music in the background while she plots some real devious shit for everybody. Not devious. I know she's not bad, but it's like deep. Like tentacles spreading all over the place and you don't have any idea what the end game is type shit.
Like Varys the spider.
Yeah.
She's got ears, motherfucker.
And you don't even know. You don't even know. Even when she's telling you, you don't even know. So, Verna tells Millie that it's late and she should probably go grab some grub and head to bed. And Millie's like, hey.
I just think it's funny how Verna has been constantly telling everybody to go to bed this entire chapter. Like, she's trying to get rid of people, right? Very clearly.
Oh, for sure.
Leave me alone so I can finally stop working. I'm the prelate, so I can't stop while you're looking at me.
I just want to go out into my garden and go smoke a blunt. And all of you guys just won't fucking leave.
Because you're all prudes who won't smoke with me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck.
You know, she's got to have a little one-hitter up in her office somewhere. That's what the ring unlocks.
Yeah,
The
there you
secret
go.
one-hitter and whiskey flask.
Little decanter. So Millie's like, you don't want me to clean? And Verna's like, dude, I totally don't mind the dirt in my office. I've grown fond of dirt over the years. So Millie takes off, and Verna finally steps out into the...
That's right. She's going to go ahead and take her first break in... How long has it been since she's been prelate? I know we have Richard's timeline. I just don't know if these things are happening at the same time.
I think we are close. So I'm gonna guess that...
So like 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, I think our timeline started at the palace with the funeral. I think the funeral and I think Kaylin and Richard having sex, same time. Or like the day after, you know what I mean?
Right, well, Richard's been gone a month.
Richard's been gone a month.
But she was being healed for a month. So
Right.
After Richard left, then they would have healed her. Eventually she died. Richard was there for that.
Right.
And then, yeah, so probably like 4 or 5 days.
I think Richard's post-coital day.
Cloud coitus?
Yes. Post-cloud coitus day. Is the same day as Nathan and Nathan and Anne's funeral.
I got another good one. Purgatorial, shit, what am I?
Pleasure?
No, purgatorial penetration?
Oh, God. Okay. That too. But yeah, so I think about 4 or 5 days-ish from there is where we're at.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's fucking funny.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's the end of the chapter. There's like 3 separate little mini chapters in that one. I'm glad that they weren't separated. I just think that sometimes some of these chapters, they go on and there's just so many details in them. Like, it's hard to actually keep all the information after you read it.
Yeah. No, it is. I've had to go back a couple times while we were doing the notes and just make sure that when something's referenced in the chapter that I know exactly what they're talking about, so I'm not just riffing off random stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's easy to do in a book like this. Like, hey, we make mistakes too, but it does actually pay to pay attention because there are little tiny details that you don't pick up on if you're not looking out for those things.
And if you're drinking, it makes it harder.
Especially after drinking a 15%er to the dome, which I am happy to say that Jade and I have just finished. Well, if you guys picked up on something and wanted to let us know about it, you could totally do that by sending an email to podcastatt@gmail.com. You can find us on all of the social medias, including Patreon at podcastatt. If you wanted to send us a text or a voicemail, you could do that too at